How did you humble that one teacher that thought she ruled the school? When I transferred schools junior year, nobody warned me about Mrs. Barlow until lunch. The second I sat down, this girl across from me goes, "Oh my god, you have her for third period." I said, "Yeah, why?" And the whole table got quiet. One guy just muttered, "Good luck." I thought they were exaggerating. Then third period started. Mrs. Barlow didn't even introduce herself. She stood at the front of the room holding a clipboard, like she was inspecting prisoners. She pointed at one kid and said, "Untucked shirt, stay after class." Then another girl walked in maybe 2 seconds after the bell rang. Mrs. Barlow locked the door in her face. Not metaphorically, literally locked it. The girl stood there, knocking while everyone inside stared at their desks pretending not to notice. Mrs. Barlow just kept teaching. That was my first red flag. The second came when she started calling students by nicknames they clearly hated. A kid with acne, pizza face, a shy girl who stuttered during presentations. Spit it out, sweetheart. And everybody just accepted it because fighting back only made things worse. A week later, she started targeting me. It began small. She talks too much. She rolls her eyes. She thinks she's smarter than everyone. Then one day she accused me of cheating on a quiz because I finished early. I said, "Or maybe your quiz was easy." The class went dead silent. She smiled that fake smile teachers do when they're furious. "See me after class." So I did. And for 10 straight minutes she lectured me about respect while eating yogurt with her mouth open. At the end she goes, "You girls always think attitude makes you powerful." That sentence stuck with me because suddenly I realized this wasn't about rules. She just liked humiliating people. After that I started noticing things. She'd embarrass students when she was having a bad day. If another teacher walked into the room, suddenly she acted sweet and patient, like some completely different person. And the craziest part, the principal loved her because test scores were high, so nobody questioned anything. Then came the presentation day. Each student had to present in front of the class. This nervous freshman named Lily got up there shaking so badly she could barely hold her note cards. Halfway through, she messed up one sentence. Mrs. Barlow interrupted her in front of everybody and said, "If you're going to waste our time, at least try to sound intelligent." Lily literally started crying. Not tearing up, actually crying. And Mrs. Barlow rolled her eyes. That's when I got angry. Not annoyed, angry. Because everyone else just stared at their desks like always. So when it was my turn to present, I walked to the front, opened my slideshow, and left the first slide blank. Mrs. Barlow frowned and said, "Where's your presentation?" I looked her dead in the face and said, "Oh, this isn't a presentation." The room got quiet instantly. I said, "This is actually a list of every rude thing you've said to students this semester." Her smile disappeared. Then I started reading. "Pizza face, spit it out, sweetheart. Maybe if you spent less time crying and more time studying." Every quote had dates, because I'd been writing them down for weeks. The class slowly started realizing I wasn't joking. Then I pulled out my phone and said, "And before you ask, yes, several of these are recorded." You could hear people whispering. Mrs. Barlow finally snapped and yelled, "Put that phone away right now!" And that was the moment she messed up, because she screamed it in front of the assistant principal, who had just walked in behind her. Apparently he'd come to observe presentations. Perfect timing. Mrs. Barlow turned around and froze. I'll never forget her face. For the first time all year, she looked scared. Not angry. Scared. The assistant principal asked me quietly, "Do you mind repeating what this presentation is about?" And I said, "Just documenting classroom behavior." Nobody laughed. Nobody moved. The room was dead silent while Mrs. Barlow stood there realizing she wasn't the one in control anymore. She took the rest of the week off. And when she came back, she never called another student a nickname again.